This is Matthew Burkitt. Matthew is a business owner, and like many people in his position, he gives it everything he's got. He started 7 years ago and has grown the business to £7 million in the recruitment industry. But this isn't just a story about someone who's built a business. This is a story about a father, a husband, a man who will do anything for the people who work for him. Someone who faces challenges, obstacles, and at times, rejection. Not just rejection from clients like we all face in business sometimes, but rejection from some people in the business community because of where he's located in the Welsh valleys, and even by some because of his strong Welsh accent. So watch this man's story unfold as we take you, fellow entrepreneurs, the wider community, friends and family, back to where it all began. We'll show you that there is talent in the Welsh valleys and that you can be proud of where you come from, that you can use it to power your ambition. This is Matthew Burkitt, and this is his story. This is a story on the road to success. This is Can-Do Talent. So Matt, where does your story begin?
I'll show you.
What did you want to be when you were growing up?
A football player. I just love football, was playing football, and just want to be successful and famous a little bit, I suppose. Scored a few, yeah. I had a couple of good seasons. I was like player of the year for 2 years on a row. Yeah, good, yeah, it was a good team, yeah, good strong team, yeah.
Where does your drive and ambition come from?
Yeah, I think it comes from an early age when I see my mother struggling to sort of buy me football boots, and back then it used to be 100, 150 quid for a pair of boots, and she would scrape by, go without, and I was always given the best as a kid, but my mother struggled, and I remember again like loans out and things to buy me motorbikes, and really struggled. So seeing that from an early age, I knew I didn't want that for my kids, I had a great childhood and things, but I think from an early age, I had the drive then to change my life and my family's life. So, my mother moved from Bristol when I was a baby, and then I moved schools and all that, so my dad who brought me up is really my stepdad. Yeah, so that's quite emotional. So yeah, I moved early on. I moved schools a couple of times, and then went to Aberdeen School in the juniors there, and that's where I built my friends that I've got today from there. But from that, I was kind of fighting all the time, but football sort of, I think, kept me on the straight and narrow. But yeah, really naughty in a good way, like, class clown, always messing about, always want to be a centre of attention, always having a joke. And then I took that kind of into high school, and it's just a good feeling there when everyone's laughing at your jokes or laughing with you or at you. As I said, when I first started in our juniors, when I was like 8 maybe, there's like 10 of us are still friends today,
So you value relationships, man?
100%, yeah.
What gets you out of bed in the morning?
The drive to build something for my family. That's my motivation. That's what gets me out of bed every day, and gives me that drive to be successful.
What do you fear?
Losing it all.
If you don't mind us asking, tell us how long you've been with your wife. When did you get married? Tell us the story.
Oh gosh, she'll kill me for saying this, but funny enough, me and my mate was driving around Tredegar. We were driving around Tredegar, and back then when we first started learning to drive, I was 17, 18, driving around Tredegar. And we got talking to these girls in Tredegar in the bus stops or whatever. Well, called Quick Save Car Park, I think it was back then. And I was 18 at the time, so I met her when I was 18, and we've been together ever since.
Wow.
Yeah. So she's been there from right at the start, like she's seen it all. When I first started Can-Do, she was pregnant Teo was due in the September, and I started the business in the March. So, and we had a mortgage, so I had everything to lose, you know. And she never really doubted me. She always knew that I would be successful. She didn't question anything. She didn't question me all the late nights and the 12-hour days and the weekends. I didn't see Teo for 2 years. I didn't put her to bed for 2 years. As a baby, every night I was just relentless and ruthless about getting this business off the ground. I kind of took that for granted until recently, looking back at my story and how important she is and has been in my journey.
So Matt, where are we going?
Let me show you. We are going to my first house that I had with Emma in Tredegar, and this is where I started a can door in my kitchen. So I started a business in March 2016, and my first boy was born in the September of that same year. So this is coming down my first street now. Right, this is the Victoria Terrace where I used to live. Good story as well. When I first started, it was I was doing some drops, you know, door knocking up in one of the industrial estates in Tredegar, and I drove into a pillar in the estate, so I broke my car, so my car to get picked up from up there, and I had an important meeting the next day about 4 or 5 miles away. So instead of cancelling the meeting, I walked 4 miles from my house there and then 4 miles back just to get the meeting done. I knew I had to do it. You know, I was on my own at the time, still working in my kitchen. I didn't want to be that person to cancel a meeting and lose out to another business. I was so passionate about getting that meeting because I knew that I could get business from it, and yeah, I stuck to it. 39 is my old house.
So Matt, show us where you grew up.
Absolutely, let's go.
What was Abbotsford like, Matt, growing up?
Do you know, looking back, I loved it. Great time growing up. Just playing football every day. We was at the park every day playing football. Every day, football. We'd be at the park every day. There's 10 of us in that's a close. We've been friends ever since primary school, you know, or infant school. And there's 10 of us, and it's quite incredible to think that we've always been that close for that long. But yeah, I'm quite proud of that fact that I saw, you know, those group of friends have been there before I started business, and now I'm in business. We're still all friends, you know. This is my school as well. Come to school. My old school.
So this is the school primary school?
No, it's a comprehensive. It's
a comprehensive.
That's a comprehensive, yeah. And this is it's a 3G now, but when we used to play on it, was AstroTurf. And when we fell over, we used to get burn marks, but they changed to a 3G now. So I spent many a days on it. Dio! Right, Di? Right, son? Do you want to film this?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's one of my close mates as well.
Where is he? I can't see him.
Right, lad?
Oh, there he is.
What's happening, bud? Doing some filming. What's happening there? Hey, son, yeah, we're on lunch, you?
Yeah, it's about to work now.
Any more vacancies for us up here, what?
I don't know, but what's happening up there?
So this is one of my mates who's on about the doing some filming. Yeah, and he was asking me about our close
connections.
So how long have you known each other?
He's just asking about how close.
How long have you known each other?
Too long. Yeah. Man.
So how long have we known each other?
20 plus years, I expect, isn't it?
Long time, innit?
You see him out now, is it? Show me the old stomping ground.
Yes, mate. Yeah, we're all begun, innit? Huh?
Do you want me to ask you a question? What's Matthew like as a mate?
No, good as gold, man. To be fair, yeah. Good boy.
Can I give my money after, yeah?
Nice to meet you, buddy.
That's Shane, he might tell you different. Like
You've already told them, but you already told them. Right, and Di, yeah, nice to see you, back. Yeah, take care, back. That's one of the close mates as well. He's in the 10.
Where did the majority of your staff come from?
The majority of them come from the valleys, which is important to me. Being from the valleys, I want to employ valley people, and I'm passionate about that. So for us to sit here in Ebervale and employ Ebervale, Jadiga, Blackwood people is amazing. Perception of the valleys, I mean, no one becomes successful in the valleys. Everyone stays in the valleys, lives in the valleys, works in the valleys. We've got strong accents, strong valley accents. Even myself, I've been told that I need to change my accent to do podcasts and things like that, or go on TV. You know, there's no way I would change my accent for anyone.
Are those perceptions wrong?
100%, yeah. It don't matter where you're from, if you've got the right attitude and drive, you can do anything.
What's amazing, man, about living in the valleys?
Community, relationships, friends, people come together. It's inspirational to see the amount of people that come together and get involved in supporting each other. I mean, I don't think you get that in the cities. It's just a great community.
Do you have any regrets?
Nah, I don't regret much. You've got to look forward, haven't you? I think all of what I've done, and you know, I've made some big mistakes and done some dumb stuff in the past, some really big dumb stuff, you know. But I think it's, you know, it builds you as a person, doesn't it? If it wasn't for like Emma, I potentially could have been in jail, like, you know. Perhaps I would come out from here. You know what I mean? So this is my nan's house now. See where the lights are? My mother sold it now, but.
That's where your nan's when you were growing up?
Yeah, I spent a lot of time there in our little house there, number 80.
Wow.
That was a big part of me growing up with my grandfather. And he used to walk down that lane there to go and watch me play football on the opposite. So my grand used to walk down this lane to go and watch me play for 6 bells at a time. So he used to walk through there, and you could go through to the pitch, which I'll show you now.
So the football pitch here then, Matt, this is where your granddad would have walked you to, yeah?
Yeah. He'd always watch me, every week. I remember always being excited on a Friday because we have football on a Saturday.
When you look across that pitch now, man, you think back, how does it make you feel?
Yeah, I miss it. I miss those days. Like, so I miss the camaraderie of that, being in a team. I mean, I'm in a team now. I don't know what can I say, but playing football and going for a beer after and having those friendships is something I do miss now. You know.
It's one of those things we're growing up, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. So I still get a bit of more. Like, my grandfather was like my best mate. Like, he was like fucking fishing with him, football with him. My mother and father were working all the time. He was everything to me. Do you know what I mean? So when he died was in 2016 as well, when I started the business.
Oh, man.
So I started the business. My son was going to be born in September, and all I wanted was my granch to be there to see him, and he fucking died before my son was born. So it ripped me apart, like, and I was working so hard. So they're over there. My nan and grand. So I just kept working. So when he died, I did think, you know, my nan died. I just kept working, didn't have no time off. You know, I didn't really have time to grieve for my granch, but I was so busy building a business. But yeah, that was the first year of starting.
Yeah. So your grandfather was a big part of your life?
Yeah, massive.
How did you find the resilience, Matt, to keep on going with a new business, a new baby, working from your home? Like, that takes resolve. What did you do? How did you keep going?
I've just always had a vision, a goal, and an ambition in mind, and drive to be successful. So I know if I stopped at that point and dwelled and got upset and all that, and obviously, you know, that would have slowed me down a little bit. Because like I said, I first started the business when he died, and it was like, it was the first year of, you know, I've been doing it 6 months, and he died.
What did your grandfather think when you told him you're going to launch your own business, man?
And that's the most upsetting thing, is I didn't tell him. My mother didn't want to worry him because they worried, like, but they never knew my nan's got dementia after he died, so, you know, she didn't understand anyway, but he never knew that I started my own business.
If he could see how successful and all the grit and determination you put in, if he could see you now, how proud would he be?
Yeah, I think he'd be really proud. I think he was always proud anyway, you know, I think. But, because he knew I was doing well, my company I worked for, so he's always proud, but I think, you know, he would, be very proud.
So why is family so important to you?
Because it's my family, you know. I want to be proud of me. You know, if I'm on a down day or feeling down, I always look at pictures. If you look at my desk, like you can see pictures of my boys. That's my motivation. That's what gets me out of bed every day and gives me that drive to be successful. So I got 2 boys. Teo Blake is 6, just turned 6, and then Neo, who is 14 months old. I want to leave something for my children, so they haven't got to worry. I want to build a legacy for myself, and I want them to be proud of me.
Matt has actually become a friend of mine, which is what I love with this place. You're not just work colleagues.
I think because there's that element of trust there, they'll say, Scott, take the time you need. I'm then grateful for that, and it makes me want to come back and just work even harder.
And Matt supported me through the whole of that, and I absolutely know if I was working for another recruitment agency, anyone else, that wouldn't have happened. I wouldn't have been able to keep doing the job that I was doing.
If it's real, you know it's gon' come back. This that season, but there's no comeback. If you let go, then please don't run back. Cause if it ain't love, then we don't want that. Yeah, that I got bigger fish at the fry. Like, who gon' take care of my family when I die? So they can't say I failed with knowing they never tried. Let's put our ego to the side and tuck an eye in the pride. We force our past to collide, now we try.